Chapter 1 of Teddy's Button. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by GabrielleC. Teddy's Button by Feuvre. Chapter 1. An Antagonist. He stood in the center of a little crowd of village boys. His golden head was bare in the blazing sun, but the crop of curls seemed thick enough to protect him from its rays, and he was far too engrossed in his occupation to heed any discomfort from the heat. A slim, delicate little lad, with a finely cut face and blue eyes that by turns would sparkle with animation, and then settle into a dreamy wistfulness, with a deep, far-away look in them. They were dancing and flashing with excitement now, and his whole frame was quivering with enthusiasm. With head thrown back, and tongue, hand, and foot all in motion, he seemed to have his audience completely spellbound, and they listened with open eyes and mouths to his oration. With one hand he was fingering a large brass button, which figured conspicuously in the center of his small waistcoat, and this button was the subject of his theme. "My father, he rushed forward. 'Come on, men, we'll save the old colors!' And they shouted hurrah as they made after him. There were guns going and shells flying and swords flashing and hacking away, and the enemy poured on with fiery red faces and gnashing teeth. My father drew his sword, and no one could stand against him, no one. He cut and he slashed, and heads and arms and legs rolled off as quick as lightning, one after the other. He got up to the colors, and with a shout he plunged his sword right through the enemy's body that had stolen them. The enemy fell stone dead. My father seized the colors and looked round. He was alone. The other soldiers had been beaten back. But was he in a funk? No. He gave a loud hurrah, picked up his sword, and fought his way back, the enemy hard after him. It was a race for life, and he ran backwards the whole way. He wasn't going to turn his back to the enemy. He pressed on, shouting hurrah, till he got to his own side again, and then he reached his colonel. "Captain dead, sir, I've got the colors." He saluted as he said it, and then dropped dead himself at the colonel's feet, the blood gushing out of his heart and all over his clothes, and over this button. The little orator paused as he sank his voice to a tragic whisper. Then raising it again, he added triumphantly, "And 30 bullets and 6 swords had gone through my father's body. That was something like a soldier." "Oh, I say," murmured a small skeptic from the crowd. "It was 20 bullets last time. Make it 50, Teddy." "And that's the story of my button," pursued the boy, ignoring with scorn this last remark. "And did your father have only one button to his coat?" The voice was a strange one, and the boys turned out to meet the curious gaze of a sturdy little damsel, who had, unnoticed, joined the group. She was not dressed as an ordinary village child, but in a little rough serge sailor suit, with a large hat to match, set well back on a quantity of loose dark hair. A rosy-cheeked, square-set little figure she was, and her brown eyes, fringed with long black lashes, looked straight at Teddy with something of defiance and scorn in their glance. Though at first a little taken aback, Teddy rose to the occasion. "One button," he said with emphasis. "The coat was sent to mother with only one button left on. And if you," here he turned upon his questioner with a little fierceness, "if you had been through such a bloody battle and killed so many men, you would have burst and lost all your buttons, and not had one left, like father." There was a round of applause at this, but the small maiden remained undaunted. "Is that a true story you told?" she demanded with severity in her tone. "Of course it's true," was the indignant shout of all. "Then I tell you, boy, I don't believe a word of it." And with set, determined lips, she turned on her heel and walked away, having sown seeds of anger and resentment in more than one boyish breast. "Who is she?" asked Teddy as, tired and exhausted by his recital, he threw himself on the grass to rest. One of the bigger boys answered him. "I seed her come yesterday in a cab from the town to Old Soul at the turnpike. She and her mother, I reckon. They had 2 carpet bags and a box and a poll parrot in a cage. I counted them myself, for I was having a ride behind, and the woman she calls Soul father, so the little one must be his granddaughter." "Perhaps they come from Ameriky," suggested a small urchin, capering round on his hands and feet. "Paul's always coming over the sea, you know." "She didn't believe me," murmured Teddy, chewing a wisp of grass meditatively. "Gals is no good, never. If she'd been a boy you would have fought her, but I shouldn't care for not like her, Ted." Teddy turned his face upwards to the speaker. "No, I couldn't have fought her, Sam, if she'd been a boy. I promised my mother I won't fight again till she gives me leave. You see, I fought 4 boys in 1 week last time, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?